This video is on the basic steps to take in order to prepare you and your household for any natural disaster or unforeseen circumstance. First of all, and I'll go into detail on a couple of these in later videos because there's just too much information to go over here, and I don't want to make this too long. So anyways, one, you need food. You need to start saving and storing up some food that your family will use, and pay attention to the best by and expiration dates. Number two, you need water. You can only live 3 days without water before your body is dehydrated and you have a heart attack, especially if there's heat and the air conditioner is out and because there's no power. So you need to store up some water, maybe the 5-gallon jugs or barrels. You may have to empty them and refill them from time to time. Check online on how long it's good for and how you can purify it if it's been sitting. Buy a couple gallons of bleach. Learn how to the right mixture to dilute to purify it, or get some water purifying liquid or tabs, and maybe have a way to purify water if you were not at home and if there was no water, if you had to use stream water or river water. There's life straws, which are portable and lightweight and you can put in your backpack. All right, 3, stock up necessities. This includes medicinal, first aid, children or pets, vitamins, and personal hygiene materials that you would need if the stores were unavailable at the time to purchase those. 4, comforts and entertainment. So personal items. This could be comfort foods. It could be games. It could be just a deck of cards if you're going in backpacks, or books, what have you. So comforts and entertainment. 5, cash or assets that you can barter with. This could also be food or comfort items or medicinal or first aid items. So an extra supply of some cash on hand if the ATMs are not working, the electronics, if power's out, and then bartering items that you can trade for other items that you need and you don't have. 6, clothing, blankets, sleeping bags, tents, wood. You can even have a fire in your backyard if it's winter and if you don't have a fireplace, you could at least have a fire in your backyard to warm up, and have some low degree sleeping bags, and warmer clothing and extra jackets and such. 7, self-defense, weapons, and to protect you and your family from looters or from getting robbed or harmed because of madness that may occur, and ammo to go with that. All right, so those are the basic 7 things that you need to prepare and stock up on to give you and your family an edge for survival in any kind of unforeseen event or disaster. Now, some other things to go along with this. These are suggestions on what you can do to help guide yourself towards becoming more prepared and independent. Reduce your expenses and get out of debt. Probably a lot of people are working on this, so you can reduce your monthly expenses, try to budget and get out of debt so that you can free up money to use towards purchasing some of these items or property or what have you Um, in the, yeah. And then one of the ways you can help is also to have side jobs. You can work on the side. You can do, if you're not working full time, perhaps you can tutor, you could babysit. If your teenagers can go wash cars. They can get a job and help, and um, so you can make a little more. If you can make a little more extra cash, you can use some of that to help buy some of your items and food and water. Um, Practice gardening, hunting, and fishing. These will just enable you to be more independent and to gather your own food or grow your own food in the event that there's a big lack of it. Um, Make a list of supplies that you would personally want to save up for your family, and then just check them off as you feel that you have enough of those, and go on to the next item, or buy a couple of each whenever you can. Try to store your papers, important documents and papers, items, fishing license, passport, um, money, um, uh, precious metals, in a safe location and where you know they are. Okay. Make sure that you and your spouse know exactly where these items are, so that, or where they're located, so that one of you can access them in an event, in an emergency. Um, if if there is a need to leave the city, and make sure that you've researched and you have a backup plan. If you can't stay at your house, that perhaps you may need to go on an extended camping trip, and have a bug out location, or a place where you can go, whether it be with friends out of the state, or a different location in your state. Just have plans, and make plan A, but have a plan B and a plan C, because you never know which one's gonna be feasible and which are not until anything happens. Um, Next, practice going without power, or using some of your supplies, taking some classes in self-defense, or hunting, or going on road trips, camping with the family, where you're not going to be using any power, and cooking outdoors, and living without the modern day conveniences that we have and we're so used to. Um, I actually did this with my husband like a month ago for my birthday. We went camping out in the desert. No bathrooms, no power, just a tent, our three dogs, and my husband and I. No kids with us, and went out way to the boonies where there was no people, just animals and God's creation, and weren't prepared for weather. It's the desert, and it was the end of March, but there was a windstorm before a rain shower, so I don't think that helped. I think that contributed to me getting sick 10 days later, but it was like 27, it was like, I'm sorry, it was 37 degrees at like 3 in the morning, and 20-30 mile an hour winds. So yeah, our tent didn't hold up. We know we need a new tent that can withstand some weather, and we ended up having, because the tent was folding in and we had the dogs and the dog crates in our tent, we had to move the dogs to the back of the Suburban enclosed. Um, they were in the back, and we had to sleep in the front seats. So with our sleeping bags tucked around us, um, at least we didn't feel the wind anymore inside. That we could just feel the truck moving. Um, but the next morning there was snow on the next hills over, so it was pretty cold. But we survived, and we know that we can't. That every little piece of uh, real life living like that just gives you more practice to have to endure. So I know I can sleep in my house if it's like 55 degrees without a problem. if I can sleep in a tent and in my car when it's like 37. So all that just builds up endurance and perseverance and helps you to become more self-sufficient and know what you need and what you still need to do. And then lastly, keep it quiet. I don't really think this means like on the internet. I mean, I'm sure with Amazon and everything, when I buy things online, they already track everything that you do. So I'm not really worried about the government knowing because I'm surely not going to let them track me if and when I had to leave. I'm not taking my phone or anything, and I'm not using I'm using a car that has no low jack. Um, and my dogs aren't microchipped. but um, but most people say keep it quiet amongst your neighbors and in your immediate location because although I have some neighbors I can trust, you don't know which ones I can't, you don't know which ones not to trust and who they may tell, and then they're going to come rushing over to your house when everything goes down. They may come here and there to ask for things, not knowing that you have stockpiled this or that, but you don't want everyone in the neighborhood or for blocks around to all be coming to your house. So, with that said, that's the basics on how to begin to prepare. And then I'll go into specifics for like food, water, and such in future videos.